Hello, and thank you for joining us. In this presentation, we're going to be talking about Ephesoft and Box. It's intelligent document capture meets cloud content management. Now, you're probably wondering if you should be watching this video. So here's a couple of questions to help you get to that answer. Do you need to capture documents such as HR or invoicing or loan origination documents? Are you looking for a cloud content management system basically to avoid managed services costs? Do you have a limited number of resources to address this issue? Would searching on business-specific metadata be important, such as employee name, employee ID, or document type? Would it be great to have metadata automatically assigned? In other words, you drop a document in and have metadata automatically assigned to avoid manually entering that metadata. Of course, metadata being key for document searches. Would automatic folder creation be valuable as well? In other words, consistent folder structure creation for new employees or new projects or new deal or new matters. If you answered yes to any of these questions, well, it probably makes sense to watch this video. So let's get started. So let's talk about where the content is coming from that's going to go into our repository. Well, it could come from copiers, multifunction peripherals, walking up to one and putting a bunch of documents on there and basically scanning them right into the repository. Could be coming from batch scanners. In other words, the idea of being able to load maybe hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands documents in a day, scanning those into the repository. Could be email. Maybe there's a centralized email inbox that everything goes to, and that is the feeding mechanism into your repository. Or it could be external systems. The idea of maybe statements or something along those lines from another system generates documents, and those are fed into the repository. Now, all of these feeding mechanisms, of course, start by entering into Ephesoft, where the image is processed and indexing is done. Okay. Once that indexing is done, as well as the image processing, from there it goes straight into Box, where of course you've got your collaboration and governance. Let's do a live demonstration. Most of the time, captured content will go straight through the Ephesoft image processing engine right into Box, appropriately broken up into the discrete documents, and of course with the correct metadata assigned. Sometimes if documents don't meet a certain threshold, they will need additional review. And here we have such a document ready for validation. Let's take a look. This particular document was scanned using a copier and basically was a 6-page document brought into Ephesoft. Ephesoft took that 6-page document and automatically broke it down into 3 documents. This new hire document, an I-9, and a W-4. It also took off from the first page of the document, the new hire information, the last name and first name of the person, and made it metadata right here, Joseph Duvall, grabbing that from that first document. It then turned around and looked up the employee ID using the first and last name in an external system. Taking the employee ID, it then was able to gather the store and department information. So the idea is it pulled information off of that first page and then looked up the additional information. Now in this example, it's not 100% sure that that's the last name, but it is correct as we review. So if I click and hit validate, we're good to go. Now, these other 2 documents you'll notice are green. That's because they're set with validation. They're ready to be released. It's just this one right here, which we just fixed by validating the last name. So at this point in time, I will simply click validate and it will release this document and these other 2 right into Box. Here we are in Box, a familiar interface to a number of you. You'll notice we have employee files right here. I've got the letter S, J, and D. Of course, we processed Joe Duvall's files, so I'll click on the D, and there, of course, is Joe Duvall's file folder that was automatically created by virtue of the processing. And then from here, I've got W4, I-9, employee application. Again, these are folders that were automatically created when we processed Joe's files. An example of creating subfolders underneath Joe's folder. I'll go off and hit employee application. Here's that file. And if I click on it, you will see that same file we talked about. There's the Duvall Joseph file. Remember, we processed this inside of Ephesoft. I go to details and I scroll down and you'll notice all that metadata is automatically assigned. So just by processing it into this folder, the file automatically has all the appropriate metadata. Now, of course, this was done via scanning. What's nice is, of course, you'll have other files going into Joe's folder as time goes on. What happens when you do that? Same premise, the automatic assignment of metadata. So why don't we just go to a different folder? We'll go to the W4 folder. And if I go off and hit upload, and I'll go to files, and I'll grab, just as an example, I'll grab an NDA just for the purpose of grabbing a file. So we'll grab this file. It gets uploaded into the system. You see it right here. And what's nice is you'll automatically have the metadata assigned to it for Joe Duvall sitting in the W4 folder. Let's take a look. So I'll click on my NDA. And here's a preview of the document. I'll hit details. And of course, here's all that metadata automatically assigned when we dropped it into the folder. So we dropped into the folder via simple upload, and it automatically assigns the metadata. So now, of course, why do we assign metadata? To be able to search on it. So why don't we go back to our interface, and let's go do a quick search. And we want to search on metadata, of course, our employee metadata. And I'll type in Joe Duvall. And if you recall correctly, the document type that we just uploaded was a W4. And then I just click search. And there, of course, the one we just uploaded. So as simple as that, I was able to drop the file in and do a search on the metadata. And of course, here is our file. So what did we learn? Well, we learned that processing images can be easy, the classification and bursting. We learned that storing scanned content in a cloud content management system is quite simple. We learned that you can search for documents using business-specific metadata. This metadata can be automatically assigned during image processing and can automatically be assigned when you're saving a document into the repository. We also learned that folder structures can be automatically created in order to maintain consistency, make it easier for other users to come in and use the system. So what are your next steps? Well, it's time to reach out to MicroStrategies. So give us a call and we can help you like we help our other clients.